Hey y'all, Jim here with Sunrise Farm. Thanks for stopping by today. In today's video, it's not as much about my farm, although I'll give you that quick update in a second, but it's about really all of those people affected, and certainly my fellow farmers throughout the state of Georgia, the upstate of South Carolina, Tennessee, and North Carolina, and wherever else it may have affected. But this is more about them and just encouraging them to keep going and encouraging y'all when it comes to our food sources, our farmers, and how they grow things. But first, let me go ahead and give you that quick update of my farm. Where I live in the lower part of South Carolina, we weren't expected to get much of that Hurricane Helene at all, but somewhere along the way, it veered a little more east than anticipated, and we got a lot more than we anticipated here. Basically, we were not prepared for what we did get. Now, did we get the full brunt of that storm? No, we did not. But we did get a lot of sustained, hard, heavy wind, upwards of 60, even somewhere 70, 80 miles an hour. And all that affected us here on our farm, everybody in my area, my family was safe. We lost power for 4 days, which meant since we're on a well, we were without power and water for 4 days. And unfortunately, just in the sheer vastness of what we had, we lost everything in 2 fridges and 2 freezers, and some plants here in the farm. But for the most part, we didn't take any real damage. Um, I'm not aware of anybody in my area that took a lot of heavy damage. Most of it's similar to what I described, just being without power. Some were without power over a week. And, that's hard enough in and of itself. But obviously, it nowhere close compares to the folks that were caught in the path of Hurricane Helene. And I waited a little time because the immediate devastation and well, I'll just leave it there. The immediate devastation was just, it was hard to handle for everybody that was even remotely affected by it. I know some folks in the upstate of South Carolina and a couple other places, some farming folks here in South Carolina mainly, that were hit very, very hard. Lost most everything farm-wise. Okay, now everybody I'm aware of was safe, but they lost most everything farm-wise. And so it's led me to think about all of the things going on just because of this one particular natural disaster event. There are food shortages both now and will occur for some time to come in these affected areas because obviously due to flooding and cost and even disease getting into the ground and certain areas when farms go to retune and replant, they'll probably miss an entire fall season worth of planting. They may even miss an entire spring season of planting before they're able to get it completely straightened out and rebuilt. And that causes devastation in so many areas. And of course, I'm talking from a farming perspective because that's what I'm currently doing for a living. I realize that the devastation and chaos created by that one storm across just folks and areas and different income sources, even tourist source. I mean, just numerous amounts of loss, both financially, property-wise, and life-wise. It's a very hard thing to deal with, those types of natural disasters or trials and tribulations, if you will, in our lives. I don't hide the fact on my channel that I'm a Christian. So my internal personal solution is to pray. I seek God in all things, both good and bad. And He is my source of strength through the Spirit that dwells within me in the times of these kinds of troubles and rebuilding periods, and just there will be some things that will never be known. and that will cause even more depression, fear, guilt, doubt, and a host of other things, anger. And so I don't mean this video to sound down. Um, I know how hard it can be. In 1989, my wife and I experienced Hurricane Hugo here in South Carolina. And so within a 3-day span, we had our first baby girl and lost every single thing we owned. And we were homeless for many, many months. I don't mean homeless in the sense of living on the street, meaning we did not have our own home, and we bounced around from a family member or a friend of the family for many months. And it was brutal. And so I remember, and I can empathize and sympathize with a lot of what people are going through. But coming back to my point about farming, in America, in our small communities, yes, you have your grocery stores, and yes, they get their food from all kinds of sources, both U.S. farming and Mexican farming and abroad. But farming is such a vital role in our communities, especially our rural communities. For us, we have farmers markets. We only missed 1 week of that down here because of the storm, but there's areas of our country, like I said, those areas in North Carolina, Tennessee, upstate of South Carolina, Georgia, and others, I'm sure. They're going to be without those local sources of food, fresh, nutritious, wholesome fruits and vegetables for some time to come. There's logistical issues of getting more product and seed back to those places so they can rebuild. There's logistical issues in getting goods that can be moved from place to place because of either roads or trucking or what have you. It's really tough. And so I just want to encourage anyone who watches this video, no matter where you live, but anyone who watches this video, I want to not only bring encouragement through prayer and the Holy Spirit, as I believe, but that we can get through anything that we face in life, all trials and tribulations. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's quick. But we can get through it if we work together. None of us are able to fight battles by ourselves. We need each other. We need family. We need friends. We need our churches. We need our communities. And so I just pray that you have that with each other, and that you remember your local farmers. If you can support them, please do so. Whether it's a word of encouragement, just letting them know that you're thinking about them and that you support them. Whether it's you can go to a farmer's market on purpose if you still have one available to you and buy local produce. Maybe you have another source. Maybe you have a grocery store, or even a small mom and pop style store that only sells local produce. There are several ways you can do this, and I pray that you will. I pray that you'll help support your communities and help your communities rebuild, and that you can. It will never be the same. I don't want to sugarcoat that, but it can be better. It can be fresher and newer and bring new beginnings. And so I just pray that for y'all today. I pray that you can see through the crying, through the tear-filled eyes, that you can see the hope. I desire for you to have hope. And I desire for you to know that you are being thought of. I'm sure that a vast majority of people in the U.S., our country, knows somebody or is affected by something that happened with Hurricane Helene, and will be affected for a while. And So really, that's just the crux of what my video is about today. This wasn't really designed to be about me. It's designed to be about you. I just really pray for each and every one of you that you will find peace and even joy in trying times through things that strike you in this life, because they definitely aren't easy at times. They can be quite devastating. From here on our farm, know that we love you, we support you, we're praying for you, and if by some chance we can help you from our farm, please reach out to us and let us know. Thank you again so much for watching this. We love you, I love you, and most of all, Christ loves you. And so with that, I just want to say thank you again. Have an amazing and awesome day in the Lord, and we'll see you real soon.